Hello everybody, my name is Matt, and I just had to make this video because I'm like the biggest Sonic fanboy in the entire world, and I just got back from seeing the sequel. If you follow me on Twitter, you saw my little review. And first of all, this will be spoiler free for the first part, and then I'll tell you when we're going to get into spoilers. But I'll start out saying, if you at any point liked the franchise of Sonic the Hedgehog, go see this movie. It is fucking phenomenal. It's impossible for me to divorce the Sonic fanboy out of me to review this objectively, but I would say if I tried to do that, outside of maybe like one scene, everything about the movie was fantastic. And it's just, I love everything about it. And I have to say, this was even with a theater experience where I specifically bought tickets during the middle of the day because I wanted to avoid kids. And not only were there two big groups of young children that were talking the whole movie, there was also a third group of teenagers that were like fucking blasted out of their minds because I could smell the weed the second they walked in the theater. And even despite all that, I thought the movie was like a 10 out of 10. Fantastic. I don't even know where to start. I have no notes for this. I literally just got home and sat down, and I'm still like emotional about it because I did cry once in the movie. I won't lie. Not from any one specific thing, but just from there's a moment in the movie. I'll talk about it in a little bit. It's not even like related to spoilers, so I can bring it up here. But there's a moment where I was just sitting there like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is what's going on screen, and they're doing it perfectly. They're not fucking it up. I can't believe that. And it just, after all of the things with Warcraft recently and with the Resident Evil movie recently, and it's just all these things that I love so much from my childhood have been just getting screwed up left and right, and just to have the one thing that is my favorite thing, and Sonic is my favorite thing. Well, I love Warcraft, I love Final Fantasy, I love Resident Evil. Sonic is my favorite thing. And to have my favorite thing not only not be fucked up, but done well, it's great. I'm gonna cry again talking about it. So, let's start with the human characters, because I've seen some reviews basically saying there wasn't enough time spent with the human characters, and I completely disagree, but I do want to say all of the human characters are very good in this movie. I would say, except for maybe the only character that I thought it was like a one-note, pointless, kind of stupid character is like the General. And I don't want to say anything more about the General, but the General from the first movie is also in this one. He's at the one at the very end where he gives Tom and what's his wife's name? Maddie. Tom and Maddie the gift card to Olive Garden, and they recall that joke later in this movie. He was kind of a goofy one-note trope there, and he's a goofy one-note trope here. He's like literally the only human character that I thought was kind of stupid. But Tom is great. His wife is great. They actually, they gave them less screen time, but made them better characters. I don't know how they did that, because in the first movie it's Tom and Sonic. Like that's the road trip movie. This one it's Sonic and Tails, and Tom and his wife. And his wife's sister, I already forgot her name. The sister from the first one with the daughter. And I thought she was kind of annoying in the first movie. In the second movie, she's like one of the best human characters. I think she's fucking hilarious. All of them are great. I really like Tom and his wife's dynamic with Sonic. They do hint at what Tom and his wife is to Sonic in the first movie, but they really cement it in this one, and I like what they're going with it. Like I said, his wife's sister, Maddie's sister, or I can't remember her name, with the little girl. She's really funny. She gets a fiance in this movie. I won't say anything more about that until spoilers, but he's also great. I will say that I was wrong in my prediction. Shamar Moore is the guy playing her fiance, and I thought he was going to be like a secret cameo of Knuckles, of Shadow, because I couldn't find what his role was in the movie, but that's not true. So he plays the sister's fiance, and he's good too. I don't even consider Dr. Robotnik like a human character. Like he's in the Sonic camp for the characters for me, but not Dr. Stone, but Stone, Robotnik's assistant, is fucking great. I like that they basically just confirm he's just like super gay for Dr. Robotnik. I think that's really funny. Like There's multiple moments where you're like, oh, you're like in love with Robotnik. You're not just like his loyal assistant. You're like in love with him. And I think that's pretty funny. He's great. He's the only character that I wish that he had a little bit more to do. He's the only human character that I wish he had just a little bit more. But what they did with him was fine. Robotnik is just... Oh, I'm such a fucking nerd crying about fucking Sonic. Dr. Robotnik is like my favorite fucking video game character of all time. And to see how perfectly they did him, it's just... And they took risks where they did stuff with him that weren't necessarily what they've done in the Sonic Sonic games. But it's just so in line with who that character is. And it's so good. And I really hope if Jim Carrey is actually retiring, he sticks around for just one more movie. We need the final movie in the trilogy because I need Dr. Robotnik one more time in live action. Because he's just perfect. Every scene with him. Even the stupid improv jokes that maybe go too far. I'm like, oh, it's Dr. Robotnik. I don't even give a shit. They do so many callbacks. There's a moment where they like flash a bunch of pictures of outfits that he could be wearing because Stone's trying to like develop like an outfit for him. And they show a bunch of outfits from like, there's one from the comics. There's the traditional Robotnik look that goes by on screen. I didn't even mention Easter eggs. Easter eggs are fucking everywhere. If you thought there were Easter eggs in the first movie, holy shit, there's so many. Sonic is great. It's hard for me to talk about Sonic or Knuckles without spoiling shit. So I'll go to Tails. Tails is one of my favorite characters. He's probably my favorite in the Sonic trilogy, of the trilogy of characters. A lot of the time it has felt in the Sonic franchise of video games that Tails is like, he's just Sonic's fanboy. And while he is like a technical guy, that takes like a back seat to just being like Sonic's fanboy. And in this movie, he is Sonic's fanboy. But the technical prowess of Tails, like, saves the movie. Like, he saves the story multiple times. Tails does. And it's to get Colleen O'Shaughnessy, the longtime voice actor of Tails, to voice Tails and to make Tails like a contributing member of the team and someone who they would have failed without him. I'm just like, they knew what they were doing. I know it's shocking to get like emotional over a video game adaptation just getting it right, but 95% of them can't get it fucking right. And it's almost like if you just stick to the source material and do the source material, you can even put your own little twist on it. Like I said, there's some stuff with Robotnik that they've never done before. I thought that was great. But if you stick to the spirit of the source material, the fans of the source material will like it. And there's a reason that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is the most popular video game movie and has blown the fuck out of every other video game movie and a lot of other non-video game movies so far, despite being out for like, what, a week and a half maybe? Knuckles is great. Knuckles is the standout star of the movie, which shocked me, because I've never disliked Knuckles, but I also kind of find... I don't dislike Knuckles, but he's not my favorite, I guess is how I would say it. I don't dislike him at all. I don't think he's annoying, or I don't even think he's boring. He's just not a favorite of mine. And he's the standout of the three animated characters in this movie. Idris Elba does a fantastic job voicing him. I'm shocked at how much I like what Knuckles sounds like. And without spoilers, if you've played recent Sonic games, Knuckles in the recent Sonic games is like this bumbling buffoon jock character. And in this movie, Knuckles is like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, where he is like a dangerous threat to Sonic. But beneath that, there's like Sonic Adventure Knuckles, where he's like this noble warrior character. And without spoiling the movie, although I feel like if you have any inclination of how to predict movies, you know what'll happen. But he's great. And I'm with how the movie ends, I'm curious how they're going to have a third movie and also a Knuckles TV show. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that, but definitely going to watch the TV show. Knuckles is great. There is an after credit scene. Stay with that. Stay for that. So yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I can't. I guess the last thing I'll say is the moment that made me start tearing up is, and this is from the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything. And it's also, I will say, kudos to Sega, because you could tell from watching, I think it was the last trailer, there's a moment where Sonic is saying a line in the trailer, but the shot from the movie you're seeing, if you follow his like lip sync, it's not those words. Almost every single moment from the trailer, they're splicing together audio and visuals from different places. So the scenes you're seeing in the trailer are not what's happening in the actual movie. So I want to point out, the point in the movie that got me where I started tearing up, and I'll just say the last third of the movie is a fucking Sonic fanboy's wet dream, and this is when this moment happens. But it's from the trailers. You see a Tails flying the tornado, and Sonic is on the tornado, and that's the moment. And it's nothing about that moment specific. Like, that moment's cool. That moment's also way, way better in the actual movie than the trailer. I won't say why, but I will say the voiceover they're using for that scene in the trailer is not from that scene. But it was just, I was watching this moment where I was watching Tails fly the tornado with Sonic holding onto it against the Death Egg robot, shooting missiles at it. And I was like, this is a video game that they perfectly adapted into a movie. Like, this, I'm gonna fucking cry again. Like, it was just, I was like, I'm watching the video game. I'm watching Sonic 2. I'm watching Sonic 3. I'm watching Sonic Adventure at the end when you're flying to the Death Egg. I can't believe that they did this. So, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, 10 out of 10. Go see it, especially if you're a Sonic fan. So let's get into spoilers. We're gonna start spoilers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I was unsure if they were going to do Supersonic in this movie, because they were hyping up the Master Emerald a lot. And the Master Emerald does not allow Sonic to become Supersonic. He has to have all the Chaos Emeralds. However, in the canon of Sonic, the Chaos Emerald is like the guardian, the Master Emerald is like the guardian of the Chaos Emeralds, in that, I believe this is established in Sonic Adventure 1 with Chaos. The Master Emerald can like absorb and neutralize the powers of the Chaos Emeralds. And in this movie, the Master Emerald is what happens when all the Chaos Emeralds come together and form the Master Emerald. Once they establish that, like pretty early on, like a little over a third of the way through the movie, after they establish, because they show the Chaos Emeralds and Tails has like this explanation where he's like, yeah, the Chaos Emeralds make the Master Emerald. The second that I saw the Chaos Emeralds on the screen, I was like, we're getting fucking Supersonic in this movie. And sure enough, at the end, we get Supersonic. And they do it, like, I know it's stupid and cheesy. I can't help but get emotional about it because it's what I've grown up with my whole life. But the way Sonic almost always activates Supersonic is he has all the Chaos Emeralds, and there's some moment where they're talking about protecting the ones that they love, or blah, 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 blah. It happens in all the fucking games. And it happens in this movie. Him and Tom and Maddie are together, and Sonic says, I love you guys, because they think that they're all about to just get killed by Robotnik, which they probably were. And then he becomes Supersonic, and I was like, this is so good. I love that. The thing I'm referencing where I was talking about they took Robotnik in a direction I wasn't expecting. Robotnik never... well, first of all, the Master Emerald, they made into like almost the Mind Stone from like... the Avengers, where it's like, if you have it, you can just do anything. Anything you imagine can become reality. And while Dr. Robotnik at points has had the Master Emerald and has like manipulated its energies, it's never affected him as like a person. It's always like powered a machine, or he's using it to like power the Death Egg, or he's trying to destroy the world or something with it. But in this movie, Robotnik has it, and he becomes Magneto, basically. He becomes like a technomancer, where he can just like take stuff apart and put stuff together. And I totally called it from the trailer reactions, where I said, oh, he's using it to pull all of these tanks and trains apart to make the Death Egg robot, which is what he does. I'm gonna probably go see the movie again tomorrow. I'm unsure how I feel still about them putting a voice filter on him when he's in control of the Master Emerald, like when he's powered up by it. I don't know if I like that or not. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about it again and watch the movie again, but it is a choice. It's not a bad choice. I just don't know if personally I like it or not. You get what I mean? But that was cool. I was totally down with like the Technomancer thing. I thought that was so fucking cool because, yes, they have that scene where he's like shooting lightning and like taking stuff apart, but he doesn't become like a superhero villain where he's like just shooting lightning and stuff. He does it to make the Death Egg robot, and then he goes into the Death Egg robot and is controlling it with the Chaos power. And even when he loses it, he still can control the Death Egg robot. So I was like, okay, yeah, cool. This is a new version of Dr. Robotnik using the Master Emerald that feels true to the spirit of Dr. Robotnik without changing him too much that they ruin him, you know? And as I said, I'm very picky with Dr. Robotnik because he is my favorite video game character of all time. He's the fucking mascot of the channel. He's been my channel picture forever. And I feel like they did him total justice here. This is why I love Dr. Robotnik. He's so fucking great, and he's so weird, and he's so goofy, and I just love everything about him. And, yeah, so that was all great. I love the final scene when they're all playing baseball together. I love that basically... I can't tell if they, like, adopted Tails and Knuckles, too, but I feel like they're just hanging around because the Master Emerald's here now. I guess we got a confirmation that Longclaw did die, which was very heavily implied in the first movie, but we didn't see it. And I guess seemingly all of Knuckles' people are dead as well. So that's interesting. So he really has nowhere else to go, so it makes sense that he would stay here to protect the Emerald, and that's what Knuckles does. He protects the Master Emerald in the temple. I like that they just made the Temple of the Master Emerald just on Earth. I think that's totally fine and acceptable. I was wrong about the Chaos Emeralds each being, like, in a person. I think in one of the trailer reactions I said, like, oh, Sonic has the blue one, Tails has the yellow one, Knuckles has the red one. Maybe Robotnik would get one or something, but... Because, to me, I felt like that was what they were going for when they would show... Because, like, they had their normal colored eyes, but when they would power up, they would glow. Like Chaos Emerald. Chaos Emerald magic. So I was like, okay, they all have the Chaos... They all each have, like, a Chaos Emerald inside them, and they don't know it, and somehow they're all going to be, like, extracted to do a thing. I don't know. But I was wrong with that, but I'm fine being wrong there. What else can we talk about? Gun. I can't believe Gun's in this movie. The fucking organization that... Where do you even talk about Gun? Because Gun's connected to Shadow, which is... He's in the fucking post-credits. Everyone and their mom knew it was going to be like Shadow or Chaos or someone, and I can't believe it was Shadow. I can, but I love that it was. That's why I need Jim Carrey to stay for one more movie. I need Shadow and Robotnik together. I want them together. So that was cool, but Gun was a surprise. I like how they incorporated it as like a secret military force within the military, and you find out that, you know, Maddie's sister's fiance is a member of Gun, and the commander from the first movie and this one was a member of Gun. And they seem to they want to capture Sonic, which, you know, I saw some what review did I see that was like they were complaining about Gun? Oh, it was Grace Randolph, who fucking either has the best takes or the stupidest takes in the world. And she didn't like this movie. She panned it. She gave it like a splat on Rotten Tomatoes. But whatever. Fuck her. The critics didn't like it as much, but I think it has like a 98% fan reception, which is deserved. She was like, I don't know why Gun would go after Sonic. I was like, well, because that's what they fucking do in the games. They go after Sonic, they go after Shadow, sometimes they work with Shadow, sometimes the whole plot of Sonic Adventure 2 is they mistake Shadow for Sonic when Shadow's doing all his evil shit. Like, they're at best a neutral organization, they're usually an enemy. So I thought that their inclusion there was cool. Like I said, I spilled all the beans about Tails because you can't really spoil anything about Tails. I love that all of his gadgets were useful, and Tails, they did Tails so well. He saves Sonic multiple times, even when he's like incapacitated. When Maddie and her sister use like his little devices that he has, it's like, oh, Tails is the reason why we succeeded and got away. And they never called the plane the Tornado. I wanted them to call it the Tornado at some point. Maybe it says it on the plane, because you don't get to see like a good shot of the side of the plane. But I just wanted it to be, I wanted someone to say Tornado. Like, that's just me. Like, it's not like a complaint. I just wanted that for me. I wanted it to be Tornado. But that was cool. What else was it? We saw, I hope that this means if Robotnik is in the third movie, that all of his robots begin taking on more like animal shapes. Because in this movie, they begin to. You have the bee robot that looks like a normal drone, but then unfolds so that the stinger is like a laser, and it looks like the fucking bee from Sonic 1. It just looks like a white and red version of it. And Robotnik has a line literally in the movie where he says something like, "I'm going to enslave all of Earth to become robots." And I was like, oh, yes, do that in Sonic 3. Make him fucking crazy. Make him crazier than he is now. Make the stupid little ladybug robot. Make him make the bee more. Make him have the rhino robot that charges forward from Sonic 3. Do all the crazy robots. I want to see more. Stone runs the Mean Bean coffee shop. Perfect. That was from the first movie, but I just got to bring it up again because it's great. The music effect, like they use the ring sound for when he gets the Chaos Emeralds to become supersonic, and then when he becomes supersonic. Great. I love the little like wacky side trip. That's not even a side trip. I love the little wacky adventure of Robotnik and Knuckles in the temple when they're avoiding all the traps. And I like that Sonic just skips through all of them because he's so fast, which is kind of like how the games are. Like all of like those levels where it's like there's a bunch of traps everywhere. If you just run fast, you can get through all of them pretty much without dying. I liked that. I don't know if that was like meta commentary, but I choose to believe it was based on how many other Easter eggs are in this fucking movie. Knuckles and everything about Knuckles is great. I love his deadpan delivery. I love that he doesn't get jokes. I love that he's so ignorant to Earth culture that he just believes what anyone says. Before that moment with the plane and Sonic where I teared up, when he's talking about his backstory, I was like, am I gonna cry from fucking Knuckles the Echidna? I held it back, but the feelings were coming, and they got interrupted by the rest of the scene, but I was like, it was like unexpected feels. I was like, what the fuck? So, Knuckles is the standout animated star in this movie, which is crazy for how well they did Tails and how solid Sonic still is. It's shocking. Like, I'm sitting here an hour and a half after I saw the movie, and I'm just still in disbelief at how fucking great it is. I cannot believe that they did so well with this movie. And like I said, with the tease with Shadow at the end, and I already know the third movie is already in development, so whether Jim Carrey is back as Robotnik or not, they said they wouldn't recast Robotnik, so if he's not in the third movie, he just won't show up. But I hope he does. And I like how they show him getting blasted off the Death Egg robot and then disappearing, and you just never see him again. Like, they never show, like, him getting away in the Eggmobile. They have Robotnik's Eggmobile in this fucking movie. It's white. It's not like the gray one, but it's his Eggmobile that he always rides around in. It's so cool. It's like, this is the video game that I grew up with. I can't believe it. I forgot what I was even saying before I forgot about the Eggmobile. But is there anything else left to talk about? Like, I don't know. I saw some critics saying like the first third of the movie was slow. It wasn't. I don't know what to say. It sets up Robotnik escaping Mushroom Hill Zone or Mushroom Planet. It sets up why Tom and Maddie are leaving. It sets up Sonic being on his own. He has some wacky adventures inside the house, which were long enough, but not too long. Robotnik and Knuckles show up and destroy the house. I thought it was totally fine. Tails showing up immediately to save the day. I like how he just hits Knuckles with a car. He just drives into him. The banter between Knuckles and Tails in the last third of the movie are great. I especially love the line where he's like, where Tails is like, sorry, I hit you with a car, and Knuckles is like, I was not hurt, but I will be planning my revenge later, Fox. Like that. The writing and Idris Elba's delivery together made Knuckles so good, so much more than I've ever liked Knuckles before. I'm like I said, I've never disliked him, but I've never liked Knuckles until this movie, and I'm just like, God, how can they make me like characters that I've known for 30 years and thought I had my opinions cemented of them? Like, how did they do that? Jeff Fowler, all the people at Sega, I can't believe please do one more movie and don't fuck it up. Because if you do, you will have made the greatest video game trilogy of all time, probably ever. I don't know how they could do it better than this. To stay true to the source material, but to change it just enough so that other people who aren't fans can enjoy the movie. Like, if you don't know any of the references or anything, the movie is not any less for it. If you don't know the references, the movie is like solid. If you do know the references, the movie's fucking amazing. So, if you made it this far and you've watched all the spoilers for some reason and still haven't seen the movie, go see the movie. Support the movie. Even if you don't like Sonic, in my opinion, you should go support this movie financially, because these are the kinds of video game adaptations we need. And like, we don't need fucking Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City with all the trash they did with that. We don't need Warcraft to be a 5 out of 10. Like, we need Sonic 2 to be the level of video game adaptations. Or like the Halo series, which is nothing like Halo at all. It's okay, but it's nothing like Halo at all from everyone that I've talked to, because I haven't watched it. But support this movie for that alone. Reward Sega for doing, and Paramount for doing a good job. Not only should you not vote for stuff with your wallet to send a message, you should vote for stuff with your money to send a positive message saying do more of stuff like this. And you'll be happy to do it because the movie's fucking solid. So, that's it. That's my review of Sonic 2. I can't believe how good it is. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm going to go see it again tomorrow. So, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Until then, gotta go fast.